Hey you guys, so for today's topic, I wanted to walk you through some stretches that I utilize to help open up my hips and my lower back. And I find that for my clients, these are also stretches that help to alleviate some discomfort inside the hip and also for lower back pain. So if you're someone that experiences that, I highly recommend that you grab a mat and join me in these stretches. I will be using a Pilates magic circle, magic ring. It has a couple of different names, but you can also use a yoga strap. You can use a long towel, like a beach towel, that can also wrap around the arch of your foot. You want to have something that helps to assist you in the stretches, but is also long enough for the stretches to be comfortable. That might sound a little bit confusing right now, but I promise you, once you join me in these stretches, it will make so much sense. You can probably tell that I just finished a workout and I wanted to show you, this is what I do in my cool down. You'll see here I have this ladder barrel. Sometimes I use that. Before I had this in my house, these are the exact stretches that I would use. And stretching is so important to do after you finish working out, after you finish running. I know a lot of us, I was guilty of this in my younger years. We skip the cool down, we skip the stretching, and it's so important for not only just helping to increase our flexibility, but also keeping our muscles and our tendons and our joints really malleable. It allows them to not get as tight from the workout so that we can recover faster, and also so that we can have full range of motion in our joints. And for those of you that are like, why is that important to me? The more range of motion that you have, the more power you have, the more you're gonna hold your workout postures better and correctly, which means that you're gonna be more effective and efficient with your workouts, because you're gonna be able to recruit more muscle and more muscle fibers, which means that you will be able to tone more, you'll be able to burn more calories, burn more fat, which I know is important to a lot of us. But for me, I like to focus, yes, on the aesthetics, but also, most importantly, I like to focus on functional fitness so that I can keep doing what I'd like to do longer. So go ahead, grab your mat, your yoga strap, your magic ring, or whatever you're using to help assist you in the stretches, and let's meet at the mat. All right, so I mentioned that I was going to be using a magic circle to help assist me in my stretching for today. This I highly recommend, especially if you're a fan of Pilates. You can use it with so many different moves for exercises to help give you some more, not only inner thigh work, but also outer hip work. You can challenge your balance and stability, so much versatility with it. But I'm going to use it today to help me with my stretching. You're going to lay down on your back while you're stretching out. And as you're stretching with all of these exercises, I want you to pull your belly into your back and imagine that your rib cage is pulling in and together to help support the back and to help support you during these stretches that I'm going to take you through. Okay? What we're going to do first, and I'll start with my leg that is closest to you. I want you to take your right leg, it's my right leg, you're going to take your right leg and you're going to place it down on the ground, flex foot, and you want to make sure that your foot doesn't come off. That's going to let you know you're hyperextending your knee. I want that heel to stay grounded and your butt to stay engaged on this right side. I'm going to take my ring, pull my left knee into my chest, and place it on the arch of my foot here. So as I'm here, my chest is open, my belly is pulling, and I have that bracing that we were talking about. And I'm gonna press my heel up towards the sky and then bend my knee so that my heel comes in towards my butt. So I'm not pulling it in towards my chest, I'm trying to keep my knee relatively over my hip. And then from here, once again, I'm gonna press that heel up. I wanna find a comfortable stretch, and since I'm already warmed up, I'm only holding it for about 2 to 5 seconds. It's gonna be dynamic. Press and pull that belly in, and then resist it right back down. I like to exhale as I push my heel up to the sky. That helps me to brace my lower back into the mat a little bit more. So I'm not pushing, I'm not forcing my back down. I just think of my belly helping to stretch and lengthen my back. I'm gonna do this 2 more times. I'm gonna do a total of 10 bend and stretches. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it statically up in the sky. So as I'm in the static hold here, this is where the movement will vary. I'm gonna take my left hand only, so I'm matching my arm to leg. I'm gonna take my opposite hand, you can't see it, but it's opening up into the letter T out to the side. I wanna think that with this movement, my right foot stays connected to the floor, my right hand stays connected to the floor, and I'm gonna open my leg out to the side. I don't wanna tip over. I think I'm pulling my rib down into the mat. I'm pressing my right hand into the mat and stabilizing with my right glute, my hamstring. Basically, you just think the right leg, the back side of it is pressing downwards towards the ground. I'm gonna hold it for about 30 seconds here for the sake of this video. I won't make you wait for 30 seconds, but in your head, I want you to count 1, 2, 3, and that's literally how slow you should be counting as you're stretching. After my 30-second hold, I'm gonna lift it upwards towards the sky. I get another hamstring stretch here. Now I'm gonna take my right hand onto the ring. I'm gonna take my left hand onto the mat, so I have palm down, still anchoring through my right leg, and I'm gonna take it across my body. This one doesn't go as far. I'm still trying to not tip over. I'm still trying to take my rib to the ground to the opposite direction that my leg is going. So my leg is going right, so my torso is trying to push left. This is stretching the outside of my hip into the outside of my leg, your IT band or your TFL too. Once again, it's a 30-second hold because this one is a static hold. When you're doing dynamic stretching, it is relatively quick. Like I said, it's 2 to 5 seconds to go through that motion. But when we're holding a static hold, in order for the muscle to really stretch and lengthen and to maintain that length, you want to have a 30-second hold. Afterwards, I'm going to lift it upwards towards the sky, and I'm going to bend my knee back in. Now, for those of you that don't have a magic ring, I'm going to show you the other side with the strap, okay? All right, you guys, so for this second side, I have a yoga strap. Mine is, I did loop it already. I'm not gonna unloop it, but know that you could have it so that it's open. It doesn't have to be a circle, okay? And once again, it's gonna be my right leg this time, but I have flipped around so that you can see the leg that's closest to me. I find that the easiest way to have it on is before you lay down, you want to strap it, and then if you can tell, I'm crossing the straps, and that's going to make sure that it doesn't slide once it's on my leg, okay? The best way to come down is with your knees bent, so go ahead and come down to a laying down position, and then now this time you have your left leg to the ground, you have your right leg upwards towards the sky. Here, I have both hands on the strap. Remember, I made that X, that cross with it. I'm gonna bend and stretch it. And notice here that I am able to keep my knee over my hip bone here. And that's just because the strap is longer. I'm not getting as deep of a stretch with it. If I wanted to, I could creep up a little bit higher. And then that makes the stretch a little bit more intense. But like I said, I do prefer to stretch with the magic ring because it does give me a deeper stretch. You want to make sure it still is tolerable. I always tell my clients that on a scale of 1 to 10, it should be somewhere like a 4 to a 6. It shouldn't really be like having you grimace your face because there is such a thing as overstretching. Once again, you're doing this bend and stretch for about 10, and I have 9 here. And then once you have those 10, you're gonna stretch the leg up long. Remember, you're bracing through the belly, so that means my belly pulls into my lower back. My ribs are pulling in and together like a vest, like you're going up with a zipper on your pants or a vest. And my left leg here is bracing. One hand only on the strap, and then your left hand is gonna go connected to the mat. I'm gonna open my leg to the side, and I didn't tell you on the other side, but here you're stretching your inner thighs, your inner thigh on your right side, and you're also maybe even stretching the hamstring if you pull your toes a little bit more up towards your ear. You want it to be a comfortable stretch. Remember that you're not tipping over. You're pulling your right rib downwards towards the ground, using your hand as counterbalance on the left side and pressing the backside of the left leg into the ground. We're doing a 30-second hold here. I am having to, I would say, quote unquote, work more with my right hand when I'm holding the strap versus the ring. The ring offers me a little bit more support and stability as I'm doing this inner thigh and outer hip stretch. Once I'm done with my 30-second hold, I'm gonna pull that belly in, use the exhale to bring the leg back up, and then left hand is gonna go on the strap. Right hand opens into that letter T position, shoulders down. It doesn't have to go to a direct T. It can maybe make like a really wide, fat V or a mountain or whatever. V, upside down V, I guess it would be. If that's the bottom of the letter line. Anyways, so now we're gonna take the leg over and across our body. The IT band here for me is one that's tight. The muscles that we're stretching here cross over the hip bone, across and down towards the knee. This is the one that I find the biggest relief for my hip tightness and my back tightness here. And especially on my right side, which is the side that I had my hip surgery on, it always feels so good and so delicious to stretch this out. And sometimes I spend a little extra time here just to give it a little bit of extra love. Belly is in, back is trying to lengthen against the floor. I'm trying to elongate my leg out of my hip socket. And after the 30-second hold, you're gonna lift the leg back upwards towards the sky, and then bend the knee, and you can take your loop off. Awesome job, you guys. Now, I like to rock up to a seated position. You can come up however you wanna come up. And another stretch that I'm gonna show you guys is a hip flexor stretch. This one, you do want to make sure that your mat is pretty cushiony, or you are over carpet like I am. And you also have the option to fold over your mat several times so you get a little bit more cushion for the bottom of your knee if you feel like that's uncomfortable. All right, so we're gonna be kneeling. I have my heels right behind my knee bones, and I want to have the long space of the mat in front of me. I'm gonna take one of my legs and place it right in front of me. So it almost looks like a lunge, and you'll see that my step is a little bit wider than a 90-90 lunge, and that's okay, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tuck my tailbone underneath me so I engage my butt, and I get to stretch through the front side of my hip, my thigh, and I can even now have room to lean forward without my knee going over my toe. So that's gonna exaggerate this stretch even more. I want you to hold this stretch once again because it's static. It's about a 30-second hold. I have my whole footprint on the right side down, but most of my weight is through the heel of the foot. Some people like to lift their heel up to get a quad stretch. I'm not too much of a fan of that just because I do feel like there's a lot of pressure through the front of the kneecap here. After your 30-second hold, go ahead and come out of it. And then we're gonna switch to the other side. So once again, belly in, take your opposite side and step forward with it. Now you wanna make sure your hips are square. That ankle is right behind the kneecap, so I'm not crossed over towards my midline. I really have that foot behind my knee. Ooh, almost lost my balance as I moved back home. And now from here, belly in, my tailbone tucks under, so I feel my booty engage already in this position. And then from here, if I don't already feel a stretch, I'm gonna slightly lean forward. Remember that I'm not allowing this knee to come in front of my toe. My belly pulls in. I'm trying to have nice tall posture here, so I'm not leaning forward. I really am trying to get longer through my body. And me just pointing out to get longer made my butt turn on even more. So that lets me know that I could have had my glutes turned on even more. And you do want to have that back side turn on so that it can help you stretch the front side a little bit more. And then after your 30 seconds, go ahead and come out of that stretch. And then if you would like to, I always like to end with a little bit of a cat-cow. So I'm going to exhale round, inhale, lengthen. As you lengthen, you're not going to overextend your neck. You're only going to go as far as that neck has that natural curve behind you. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. We'll do one more. Exhale, round. And then inhale, lengthen. Those are some really easy cool down stretches that I love to do after my workouts. It helps to not only improve your flexibility, but it really helps to lengthen some of those muscles that were really working to help stabilize you during your run, during your lifting, your swimming, cycling, whatever activity it was that you were doing. These series of stretches are really for whatever workout you were just doing. And also, you don't even have to have had worked out in order to do them. Maybe you just finished a long day of sitting and you want to stretch out some of the muscles that connect the hip, because sitting can make your lower back tight, right? I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I don't think it is. Anyways, really a great diverse set of stretches to incorporate after your workout in your day-to-day life. It doesn't take too long, and yeah, super easy to do. Helps you to eliminate tightness, pain, discomfort. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and drop a comment and let me know what it is that you liked about this video. If you had a specific stretch that you really enjoyed, you felt a lot of relief out of, let me know. I'd love to hear how you felt with this video. And then if you haven't already, subscribe to my page so that you can continue to hear more about my fitness and wellness tips for you guys, and let's connect on social. I'll leave you guys my information down in the description box, and also if you would like a yoga strap or a magic ring, I will leave the ones that I recommend in the description to have the ones that I also use. Have a good one, you guys, and I will see you next week.